Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. We're late. It's Sean's fault. You know how it goes. Welcome back to the podcast. We're rolling without Riggs tonight. He's in Florida. He went down there for some cheerleading competition. Like I get, he's the base of a pyramid. I don't know. He sent us pictures in that suit in his little cheer outfit, and man, I don't know about that. I was upset.
He's kind of cute in a tutu.
Matt liked it. You know, you like what you like, man. Rule 1 of Shine Club: no kink shaming. So it is what it is. So, but no, old Riggs is down in Florida. I guess his old lady, she does cheerleading coaching, and her teams made the nationals. So they went down to Florida, and apparently they won. So congratulations, well done.
Yes, congratulations, good job.
I imagine Sean had no part in it because they won. You know. But anyways, so we decided since we was off last week, Sean's fault, we just bring you something, and my computer was giving me shit, but I got it squared away, so we're here now. We're gonna have a good time. So my fill-in co-host tonight is Ola Masters. If you don't know who Matt is, you're better off. So don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to, and don't meet the people that you don't want to meet. So special guest, man, one of my boys here locally to me, my boy Wes, Sandman, old Sandwich Spirits. Welcome to the show, brother. I appreciate you coming on with short notice.
Yeah, no problem.
It was like 6 hours ago. I was like, hey, bro, what are you doing tonight?
Sitting in the garage, probably doing the same thing.
Same shit, huh? Same shit.
All right.
I know it's a little different. You can always catch old Sandman on the Friday Night Philly podcast. He likes to hang out, and they get turned up over there. It's a good show. It's a good show to say the least. But anyways,
it's comical sometimes.
It can be. That's for sure. That's for sure. So, so you got a glass in your hand. What you drinking on over there, Sandman?
First bourbon I ever ran. It's been sitting around for a long time.
Would you make that? You said first bourbon you ever made, so I imagine it wasn't the first liquor you ever made. It was the first one you threw in a barrel. Did you barrel it, or did you chip it? Did you spiral it?
I think on this one I used Jack Daniel's smoking chips. That's what I started with.
Nice.
I've done those before.
I mean, yeah, it's really not bad.
I had a feller use them cherry chips that he got at Walmart, and holy shit, I was so surprised at the cherry flavor it come out.
This one's got a good color to it.
Nice.
Ain't nothing like when you find something old. Now, did you compare it to some newer shit? Like, oh man, you know.
Well, it is in an old fashioned.
Touche. You know,
yeah, well, you know,
it's always drinkable. Good. It's always good to know where you came from, you know, or at least to remember back where you started. You know, that's good.
Right.
It's good. It's good. You know, it's good to know where you're at or where you've come from, and or how you've progressed or how you regressed.
Right. That one, that would have came off of Ever with a 2-jar thumper. That was one of my first setups.
Nice. We'll get into that. What you drinking on, Matt?
I got some of the peach habanero. Haven't had any of that in a while.
No, is that something you made?
Yeah. Some of my stuff. Post flavored.
Well, I figured that. Well, so what'd you use for your habanero flavoring in that?
Actually, I found a habanero syrup.
An actual syrup and not just like you know.
Yeah. So the syrup kind of breaks down the heat some. So you get that actual habanero flavor.
Without all the hot.
It's not overly hot.
And then mango flavoring is like some Torani or something like that.
Yeah, peach. Yeah.
It's like
the Toranis.
It's like I know you.
All right, I've got some of it in the cabinet.
Hey man, it's good stuff to have. My old lady's got them. They're called Skinny Girl, and they have they're pumps, and she adds them to her coffee or water, and dude, she's got like 40 of them sitting over there, and I'm just like, yeah, man, every one of them, new flavor, new flavor. I thought about just doing like 50 videos. Like, all right, we're gonna make this pump, 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 pump. All right, we're gonna make this pump, pump. Just get
you gotta pump and shake.
Yeah, pump and shake, pump and shake. Yeah,
You're good at that.
reminds me of being a teenager. Shit, reminds me of being married. Wes brought me some rum. He gave me 4 different types of rum, and I hadn't tried them yet, and I was saving it. So I'm going to try them all tonight. And as I go through them, I'm going to ask him about each one, and then he can tell us about them. So tell me about number one.
I gotta get the book. Hold on. I don't even remember which one's which.
My man writes stuff down. That's foreign to me. I'd have been like, oh, I don't know.
You know, when I first started doing this, I was doing that, writing everything down.
Well, I had to for this because I need to know which one's which for the people voting.
Understandable.
First one. I mean, we got cinnamon, vanilla, clove. It's pretty much a typical spiced rum, except there's a few things that wouldn't be in a typical spiced rum.
You know, I like the cinnamon, man. I'm always like, yeah, cinnamon.
Yep. So that one's probably one of the bigger recipes.
But it's real cinnamon forward. Like,
yeah.
Through. I get the brown sugar molasses sweetness first, and then it's just straight. It's cinnamon through and through. You know, like.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a little, definitely sweeter than the rest of them.
I like that one. The other one's going to have to hold up. So
no, I've been making those same recipes for a while, but it was time to decide what's everybody like the best.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure it out, you know. That way, you know, like the best part about feedback is when you see what everybody likes, and then you know when you go to an event what to take, and you're just going to knock everybody away.
Right.
Like I did some of my strawberry banana, and I tweaked it a little bit, and I didn't quite use as much sugar. And everybody that tried it this time was like, man, it's kind of tarty. And everybody that tried it the time before was like, ooh. So it let me know, like, oh, yeah, you know, what I had before was right. And so I'm going to leave it there from here on out. And
oh, it's right. Trust me.
Solid feedback, man. Solid
I ain't never got any of that. What the hell?
Let me know next time you coming by. I got one for you. How you doing, Joe? Welcome to the show, brother. We just shooting the shit on this Monday night. Sean's down in Florida. I would say, so Sean goes to Florida, and he's like, it's fucking hot here. And I was like, I bet you're the only dumbass down there with nothing but jeans. I bet you didn't take one pair of shorts. And he's like, I'm headed to Walmart right now to get some. Like, how the fuck did I know?
Did not take him long.
How did I know?
Who goes to Florida without shorts, man?
Rednecks, man. Rednecks don't wear shorts, man.
Hell, I just went and bought scissors and cut.
He sent us some. Yeah, I even said that. I was like, bro, won't you just turn them into jorts? I was like, cut them so short that your pockets and your balls are hanging out. Welcome to the old man club. So.
Hey, leave his woman's purse out of this. Now, is that still number one?
No, number two here. No cinnamon.
Yeah, it's got a little bit. That one's way different. I was trying to just, you know.
It is way different, though.
Mm-hmm.
It don't have
dry.
That, yeah. I'd say it don't have that molasses kick to it.
Yeah.
It's almost got the characteristics of an aged whiskey.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It had not a bunch, but it had some black peppercorn, where I don't use that very much. And
it's got a blandy thing to it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
That's definitely was not one of my favorites.
I think this one falls a little short of a rum for me. Like
yeah,
the way
I agree with that.
Be. But you know, the after you're after. You could take I want to say the molasses comes through when everything else goes away.
Right.
So I'm getting a little bit more ending molasses on this one, whereas the other one was just cinnamon punch you in the face.
Right.
Hey, we got some white ass legs up here in Ohio, man. That's how they go.
Yeah.
It's been warm though. Like it was in the 80s, 85. I take the doors off the Jeep, got the top down. You know, we're driving around. I go to work today, and it's like there's rain coming, and I'm looking at the Jeep like shit. Because I was too lazy to put the doors back on this morning. So I load up a bunch of shit, bring it home, and just work on it in the barn.
So you should have made it home today. It didn't start until late.
Yeah, well, like from the looks of it, it was coming real fast, and you can't tempt it, man. Because the first time that you tempt it, then you're going to get rained inside your car.
It started looking ugly quick. That's for sure.
That's this morning when you looked in the mirror.
What the hell? I'm used to that. That's every morning.
Damn, so it must have been really ugly.
Oh, yeah. You see the box at the bottom. Imagine seeing that in the morning. Well, tell us how you got started. If you don't mind, like when did it start for you, or was it a childhood thing? Was it a later in life thing?
I was definitely around it growing up a little bit here and there, but honestly, I just got to the point I wanted to try it. I mean, I'm like some of the guys. I saw some of the shows, and between that and growing up around it, I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it. And I honestly, like I said, saw the little Vever kits for a little bit of nothing, and now we're here.
So you started out. Was it one of the 3-pot Vevers, or was it the football style?
No, I started with a 5-gallon 3-pot that lasted one run.
What the hell did you do?
Well, then I went
That's where I started. I still run that thing on occasion.
I went to a 2-jar, so I kind of changed it. I went to a 2-jar and built a condenser.
Oh.
That wasn't big enough, so I bought a 13-gallon, used the 5 as a thumper.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually still using that 5-gallon as a thumper, but I'm up to a keg, and I built a pretty cool bourbon ball setup and everything for it. So
you should have been here earlier, Sean, for the introduction. So,
hell, Rigsby's late again.
When you first got your Vever, what was the first thing you ran in it?
Well, I was like everybody else and thought I had to do this sacrificial run. So
again, TikTok bullshit.
So I ran some old nasty ass wine with that, and then I did a sugar wash that was horrible.
Number 3 is a little earthy.
Number 3. It's got some ginger in it. It's got quite a bit. It's got more nutmeg than the other ones.
It's got like a earthiness. It's got like an earthiness. It's not as dry as number 2, and but it's earthiness. It's got an earthiness to it.
There's a lot more, like a heavier spice in it for sure.
Okay, it's like ginger and.
Yeah, that one's got some cloves, vanilla, cinnamon, allspice, peppercorns, nutmeg, ginger, and orange peel.
I'm not getting a lot of the orange. I think
that one's real. The next one you'll taste some orange.
Like I'm getting. It's got to be the ginger. It gives it that. I call it an earthiness.
Yeah, it's almost like a tang to it or something. It's different.
All right, back to my original question. What was the first thing that you ran? All right.
I did a sugar wash. Would have been my first actual run.
Did you have any problems with the ferment on that?
No, because I used turbo yeast.
Nice.
I learned a lot of things the hard way. I didn't know anybody that was doing it. I was just kind of reading shit online, and I had to figure things out.
I mean, that's that's how you learn. Watch people's videos.
Right.
Talk to people, even though sometimes it's hard to get quality answers.
Or you get
But
10 different answers for the same thing.
yes, and none of them are correct.
Right.
You're waiting on number 11.
Yeah, right. Or
But,
I just don't think it's right.
But you
I gotta learn things the hard way.
You chose the right time to get into it. There's information at your fingertips, lots of it.
Right.
And then and who would have thought that when you got into it, now you would be part of a community. Who knew?
Yeah,
that
I had no idea.
A community like this.
Well, there just happened to be Farm to Bottle was in my hometown. That's where I got to meet some of the guys. I got to meet you guys, bought some grain. Then I figured out you were right down the road.
It's Farm to Bottle. Yeah. Wes shows up. He gets like 40 pounds of Jimmy Red. And I think he wanted 30, and I was like, "Man, here's 40. Give me 10 extra bucks." I don't want to break it down. Like I'm lazy. I ain't trying to weigh nothing here. And then I guess he messaged us, and he's like, "Hey, man, I need this ground." And I'm like, "Well, bring it by." To come to find out, he's like 15 minutes down the road. And so now he stops by, and we shoot shit, and he needs help building stuff. We give him a hand building it, or talk liquor. He stops by and we talk liquor. So on these rums, are you doing an infusion bag in the run, or are you post flavoring it with like a spice bag and letting it macerate?
I'm just dumping it all in and letting it macerate.
Okay.
Then it's a bag would definitely be nice because it's a pain in the ass to strain this stuff. But yeah,
bag, maybe use a simple little brew bag for most of it.
Yeah, a small one would definitely work. I'd have to leave a little bit longer, I think, because I'm only leaving that stuff 2-3 days. I mean, it's pretty quick acting.
Are you trying it along the way to make sure, like, oh, it needs a little longer, or we're good, or?
I've figured out now. I mean, day 2 you start tasting. Before that, it's kind of weak. It takes a little bit. And seems like once it starts, some flavors come through real heavy. So I may start doing it in steps. It's all experimental at this point.
I get citrus and flowers.
Citrus and flowers.
It's
I don't know where the cardamom, maybe.
Yeah, it's floral. It's got a floral deal to it, and you definitely get the citrus.
That's heavy citrus.
This one's a little hotter on the tongue too.
They're all the same. I mean, it came from the same batch, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, number 4 is a little hotter on. You know which one I like the best.
Number 1.
Cinnamon in it. You knew that when you handed it to me.
Well, it's I don't know. I shouldn't say much. I got a lot more samples out, but there's been a clear winner for sure.
I go 1, 4, 3, 2 would be my ranking. That would be mine. 1, 4, 3, 2. I like the floralness and the citrus of the number 4, and I like the fact that it's a little hotter on the tongue. And that's how I'm going.
Yeah, you and me voted the exact same way.
Yeah,
I have my wife do it.
Yeah, you could put cinnamon on almost anything except chili, and I'm down. And I know it's kind of wild to hear. I'm 45 minutes north of Cincinnati, and don't put no cinnamon on my chili, man. I just don't like it. So,
did you try this when I had it there the other day?
Was that was a cinnamon one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's Fireball.
Yeah, that's just that Anburana wood. That stuff's pretty wild.
Now, nobody's ever talked about that before, so go on ahead and explain what you're talking about.
So so I oak aged it first with just cubes that I had charred, and I think I toasted them too. Then the last 3-4 days, I don't remember exactly, I put it's sitting beside me actually. Put some of these Amburana spirals in it. Actually, that's all that went in the quart was that little.
Yeah, it don't take much. You don't take much. I think one of those are for 3 gallons or something like that.
Yeah, like I said, I did a third, and I should have went smaller because it took over every flavor from the whiskey.
Do those spirals smell like cinnamon at all?
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I wouldn't call it like a traditional cinnamon stick, but it's definitely got a cinnamon kind of smell to it.
When you handed me that jar, instantly I was like, "That's cinnamon," and I tasted it. All it's just cinnamon through and through.
I know, and that's
And
what's crazy is there is not a lick of cinnamon anywhere except for that wood. So it pulls that much of the flavor out.
That's
It
interesting.
tastes like I soaked cinnamon sticks in it. That's exactly what it tastes like.
it's what it tastes like. We handed it to me. Now, like I tell you, what's crazy about the spirals are you can really tell the flavor difference in the spirals as opposed to like the chunks and the cubes. Like
Yeah.
if you get the French oak as opposed to the American oak, it's so noticeable with the spirals, and especially if you use a lot of the spirals. And like I said, I've used different chips before, different cherry and things like that. But when it comes to the spirals, I think that the flavor differences are so dramatic as opposed to if you was to use a barrel. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, like from different types of barrels.
Right.
And I think it's because it's so fast, it's such rapid flavoring and coloring that you can really tell the difference with those spirals.
There's just so much surface area on them. I mean, it's a lot different than a chunk.
If I had to choose between spirals and cubes, I would choose spirals. Like,
I don't know. I've tried spirals. I think they almost flavor too fast. That it just doesn't give it a chance to like blend for me. I like the cubes.
now, if first overall choice is a barrel. Like you got time to put it in a barrel.
Oh,
You
well,
ain't
that
faking
Jimmy
nothing.
Red, that Jimmy Red I got from you guys is still in a barrel.
How
That's
long's it
been in there.
there?
Oh, I think I put it in there on New Year's Day.
What size?
I think it's 5 liters, so it's over a gallon.
When's the last time you checked it?
I drank a shot glass full before I came out, and it's right. I mean, I could probably take it off because it's got the vanilla starting to come out. I mean, it's wow.
I'd like to try it. Bring me a little sample of that. I'd like to try it because I haven't tried anybody who's. I know some people who are aging it in a barrel, but I haven't gotten to try it yet. So I'm intrigued. I've been wanting to try it in the barrel without doing any of the work.
You're right.
That's my con.
And this was a bourbon mash. I don't remember percentages, but it was rye, barley, and Jimmy Red, and it was all grain.
Full conversions, no sugar, no
Sweet.
dextrose.
Nope, that was all grain. I didn't use any enzymes on that one. Actually, that was just the 6-row.
Nice.
That ought to be an easy drinking.
Oh, it's smooth as can be, and it was barreled at 120. So, I'll probably cut it down a little. Maybe we'll see.
I'd like to try that.
Barrel proof.
I'm gonna have to hold on to all this. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There'll be samples for a while because I ain't, I'm not giving out ports to anybody.
I learned when I first started meeting up with these people, going to festivals, like here's a quart, here's a quart, here's a quart, here's a quart, and then I got real deep into brandy. I love to make brandy, that's my thing. And then it's like, here's a pint, here's a pint, here's a pint, man. Like, like if you're running a 20-gallon still, a keg, you're getting about 3 gallons, and you're just like, man, I just can't give all this away. And then like I switched over to that because me and Sean was down there, and he got a jar from somebody of brandy, and they were in pints. And it was the same price as a quart, as a quart of corn liquor. And I'm like, dude, well, it makes sense, man. Brandy is so much more expensive, and then then when you get into the heirloom corns, this shit's expensive. It's more expensive, and so it's like, man, I'm gonna trade, but you give me a quart of corn liquor, I'm gonna give you a pint of brandy, and that's an even trade in my book.
I'd take that trade. No, I'd be all about that.
It's an even trade. So,
No, high tech. When I use coffee filters, I just put them on a half-gallon jar, and I use the jar ring to hold it down. I like push it down in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep dumping it in, and I'll go through 3 or 4 coffee filters
I
for
think
a
he's
half
talking
gallon.
about using the coffee filter as a bag and tying it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Using it as like
that would work.
like a tea bag.
That's like
You know.
for steeping. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that probably worked.
I wish I could remember what it was I got. I had ordered some elderberries. It's supposed to be for elderberry jelly, but it come with the bag and all. Dumped that shit in, just dropped it in a gallon, let it soak. It was like overnight, and the stuff came out. It was like a gin, almost like a fruity gin.
You know, I've learned a lot from watching Philbilly with the botanicals. It doesn't take much, and it goes a long way. You know, and like we're so used to throwing wood in there and just letting it sit and do its thing that when you get into some of those botanicals, man, they age. They macerate hard and heavy really fast. So
yeah,
don't be afraid.
Funny story about
get a little
that.
sip every day.
First time I did a spice drum, I put it in, and then we went on vacation, and I came back like 7 days later, and it was awful. All you could taste was nutmeg and cinnamon, and it was overpowering. I was like, well, that was lesson learned.
Probably couldn't even rerun that one either, could you?
I dumped it in a tails bucket. It went through my column. You can still taste some cinnamon, though.
Dude, the first apple pie me and Philbilly ever made, we left cinnamon sticks in the jars and put it out in the shed. And it was like a few months later, we came back, it was a party or something, and we're getting out apple pie. And dude, it was gas. Like it got drank. It was cinnamon. I liked it. That's me. I liked it. Like I want that cinnamon to punch me in the face and hold me down and gag me a little bit. Like, and
no king shaming.
At least you know what you like. I mean,
you like what you like, man. And that's the way it is. and it's just, dude, and you learn a lot about how powerful cinnamon sticks are really powerful. Yeah. And then I was running some shit, and I threw a couple cinnamon sticks in my thumper once. Dude, that shit comes out so hot, and it's fucking Fireball. Like Fireball's old angry uncle yelling at you to get off his lawn. When it comes out of the end, you're just like, "Whoo, that's spicy."
Mm-hmm.
Cinnamon sticks, dude, they're a double-edged sword. Like they're awesome, but dude, they can overpower you really fast.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you guys told me about different kinds of cinnamon. I thought cinnamon was cinnamon. So,
and it's all different. Like they have different. It's just like anything else, man. You can get different types of corn. You can get different types of wood. You get different types.
Right, but cinnamon. I was just going to the grocery store and buying cinnamon, so I had no idea I could experiment with that too.
And then like if you get cheap cinnamon sticks, they're not the same as if you spend the money and get good cinnamon sticks. I've seen people go on the show and they're like they use their high quality ingredients and it's overpowering because they're used to buying shit from a Dollar Tree because we're poor and we're making do with what we got. And they're just like, man, you got to get, so you get put in that situation, you got to try. Like when you get new spices and new things, you got to try them by themselves to see how they compare up to what you're used to using because it's always different. Every store is different. Every batch is different. So just don't always assume that just because you bought cinnamon sticks from Amazon this month, that next month when you buy them, they're going to be the exact same potency or the taste. They're just not going to be.
And you got to watch what you get.
What's up, Big Chuck?
I had had somebody call me one time, wanted to know how to make apple pie. Laid it all out, gave them the whole recipe, made it just exact what they needed.
What's up, Bennett?
Called me up 2 days later. He's like, man, what the hell? This stuff tastes like soap. It's like, what the hell you mean? It tastes like soap. He said, it's shit. So you get everything I told you? He goes, yeah. And I said, where'd you find your cinnamon sticks? He said, at Walmart, back in the craft area. I said, you dumbass, that's potpourri.
It's potpourri.
I bet it smelled good.
I bet it did. That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Clean your toilet with it.
Like, dude, they had these pine cones and it smelled like cinnamon. And I was like, dude, they got cinnamon pine cones now. I'm making liquor with these.
I could see you trying it, though. I mean,
I'm down to try it. I'll give it a shot. Anyways,
you did run mouthwash, so yeah.
I did run fucking mouthwash. There's no, I ain't gonna hide from that. Like I did. I was intrigued, And
I thought it was pretty smart, actually.
And Bever sent me that air still, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna make this thing smell like mint for the rest of its life. And I ran it, and you know what? I got a jar of that. You can try that, Wes, since you're so intrigued about it. I got you, brother.
The color alone. If the color alone didn't run me off now,
it's just a light tinge of green. It smells nice. I will say it does smell nice.
I bet it make your breath smell great.
Oh, it does, man. It does. And it give you the you get mint burps, so the rest of the day, and you're like, man, that ain't that bad.
Take that to work. Hell, that's my mouthwash.
That's what I was thinking. Hell, that'd be a good one to hide.
Take that on the cruise with you. 120 proof mouthwash.
I just like my mouth really clean.
Really clean. Really, really clean. That thing's going to clean you from top to bottom. So, what kind of yeast do you like to use, Wes?
I really don't use two. I use EC 1118, Lalvin, and I use Dady.
I mean, workhorses,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
tried and true, and EC 1118 will ferment almost anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
It takes a while. It also ferments cold. I run that. I do rums and brandies in the winter because I can run it in my garage. EC 1118 seems to take that cold a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I use it to ferment lemons without balancing the pH on them.
Damn.
I did.
Wow.
It was a sweet tea, a lemonade sweet tea, and turned into a wine. But I didn't balance no pH, and I used a shit ton of lemons.
What do you think it would do if you ran it? Because I've actually thought about like a lemonade type thing.
It would probably be damn near flavorless if you didn't put anything in the thumper.
It didn't carry through a lot.
It's there. You taste the lemon, but you know how it is when you distill things, man. They lose a lot of the flavor. Like you got them.
I'd infuse in the thumper, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of post flavoring. I like my clear straight off still. I don't mind wood chips or anything, but
and I'm the same way, man. If I can make my liquor clear and I can give it those hints, and it's a purist thing, but at the end of the day, when you're going to a party, 99% of the people don't want to taste that shit.
Yep.
They want that blue, want that peanut butter, they want that strawberry banana, they want that peach cobbler.
I told you I made your blueberry lemonade. That shit was bomb. I mean, I'm just not one. I'm not going to drink it all the time. If I'm around a bunch of people, that's fine.
I don't even make that for me. Like I'll make that, right, and then I'll show up. I'll have my jar. Like, yep, this is my liquor, or somebody will give me a jar of some good shit that they made, and that's what I'll drink on. You'll see my cup. I'll have ice in it, and I'll pour that clear liquor in there, or I'll pour the bourbon that somebody made, or corn liquor. Right. And then, but if you come up and you want to try something, I'll be like, well, like depending upon who you are, I'm gonna hand you something different. But when we was at Farm to Bottle, it's blueberry lemonade. Here you go.
Yeah. You done learn. You don't open that stuff around my family.
Yeah, I pulled a jar out. So I went to Matt. Matt had a funeral. He lost somebody special, and me and the wife showed up, and give your boys some support when they need it. And so we're walking out to the parking lot, and I'm like, man, I bet you could use a drink. And Sean was there, so I give him a couple jars. And I'm like, here you go, buddy. Pop this open and get you a drink of that. And he gets a drink, and all of a sudden there's 5 dudes come walking out. They all look just like Matt. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely Matt's family. They all look the same. And so they come over like, what's that? And then they were just in the parking lot of this funeral, jars going around. And I'm just like, this is a good time.
Empty jars in a matter of minutes.
And I saw a TikTok the other day, and there was this lady. She's like, look, if people get mad because you show up to a funeral with a jar of alcohol, give them a drink. They won't be so mad, because at that time, man, everybody could use one. And I'm like, I like her.
That's where you need them.
Yeah, sometimes you need one, man.
Last time I made apple pie, it was for a family member that I knew liked it, and she lost somebody real close to her.
It's a gift, and it's a gift it's from your heart, as you put your blood, sweat, and tears to it. It's not like you went down the road and you just dropped $20,
Right.
Like, you craft it yourself, man. It's a little different. Like, I went up to Bence's a couple weeks ago, down in Middleport, Ohio, and Old Sturge did a song release. It was cool. I think that thing's over 100,000 plays or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that thing's rolling. Anything from our home state, we definitely support. But we go to Bence's. He doesn't have his distillery open yet. He just got his still. And old Tracy Bumgarner at Ace, dude, he brings his still in, man. It's 150 gallons. Everybody knows I want me a 150. And, dude, it's made out of 32-ounce copper. And I'm just like,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, dude, that shit is so thick.
Did he bring it in on a forklift?
I guarantee it was probably somebody bigger than Benz that carried it in. It took a couple of them. I think Benz was like, man, I didn't think it was going to fit through the door. And it's a beautiful work of art, man. A big old thumper, and the arm on it was massive, man. It was definitely a work of art. So I'm glad I got to see it, and now Benz can start the next step. Once you get everything in place, then you can start applying, and so hopefully sometime soon he'll be doing an opening, and we'll actually go down there and party.
We will be there.
I'll tell my story. So I was like, hey, Benz, man, reserve me a room at the local hotel, because apparently, like, you get there, right? And it's historical Middleport, Ohio. And when they say historical, you know what it is. There ain't shit. And so we get there, you start reading the signs, and I guess it's the exact halfway point between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. It's the exact middle. And so I'm all like, hey, Benz, man, see if you can get dude. If you got a room, then I'll stay the night in Middleport. I'm guessing we're going to party afterwards, this and that. And so we get there, and dude comes up. He's telling me where my room is, and I done forgot 5 minutes after he walked away, and I still wasn't 100% sure I was staying. And so I go to Sturge, and I'm like, hey, Sturge, brother, are you staying again tonight? And he's like, fuck no, man. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, look, man. He's like, there ain't no water. And he's like, there's water out of the faucet, but there wasn't no water to drink. There's no vending machines. There's no TVs. There's no fridge. There's no ridge. There ain't shit. He's like, I laid in the bed, and it all sucked down in the middle. It's got broken slats underneath of it. He's like, I ain't staying here again, man. He's like, well, I was in the basement, and it's fucking haunted, man. There's fucking ghosts chasing me around and shit. And I'm just like, you was just really drunk. I'll give you that. But, like, I've stayed in some really low-end medieval-style hotels, and it just ain't a good time. And then about 9, so we hung out, and I had blueberry lemonade and strawberry banana on Bence's bar, and the blueberry lemonade was the tops. And that's what they're all drinking. They're like, hey, do you have any for sale? And I'm like, I don't sell, man. All I got's what's here. Just drink it. You have it all. Have it all.
The recipe's on YouTube, TikTok, probably.
Yeah, like, you can make it at home, but people don't want to make it. They want that piece of you. You crafted it. It's yours. And And let's be for real, man. You can follow it step by step. It's not going to taste the same as when I make it, even if you make it
Yep.
exactly like
Oh
I
no,
do. It's just how it is. Whether
different
it's
liquor. Yeah, everything's different.
yes, even when you're making liquor, like I said, we could roll in. They can have us ready-made mashes, the same stills. We both run it at the same time, and it's not
They're
going to
gonna-
taste the same coming out of the end.
They will be
Some-
different.
I agree.
Something is just going to be different. It's just the way it is, and you know
Yeah,
that's how it is.
I've been. No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just how it is. You know, when you're making things, and so you know about 9:30, it's over, and I'm like, so where's the after party? And they're like, nah, we're done, man. We got blasted last night, and I'm like, this every time I go somewhere, man. Everybody's like, I got so fucked up Friday night that I'm not partying Saturday night. And it's like, bro, you knew we wasn't all coming here until Saturday. You couldn't hold off and just get blasted on Saturday night with us. And so I'm just like, dude, whatever, man. He stays like, I'm going down to Athens. He's like, I'm going to Athens to get in a hotel. And old Hooch came up from West Virginia. And I'm like, man, I've got to go back to 35 right there at 35, where 35 goes over into Point Pleasant into West Virginia. And I could go right and drive home, or I could go left 30 minutes out of my way and go to Hooch's. Man, I got the Hooch's about 10:30. We was up drinking on TikTok Live till 5 in the morning. Had Bean and Tex on there, and we're just drink. We got Bean eating peaches out of the jar and shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Hooch was
See,
like,
that's
I'll give you $50 if you eat those peaches. And then he ate them. He's like, I ain't giving you $50.
hell. He's on live, man. He can't back out of that one.
It'd be all right. Tell him to write an IOU. So,
No, that's the ones you got to call me for. I'm good at those late night podcasts.
5, 6 in the morning. It just every time I go to Hooch's, man, we're up till 5 in the morning, just having drinks, shooting the shit. You know, we get on live and we just hang out, man. It's a good time. But it was a good time at Benson's. This place is beautiful. It's an old building. I believe the front said it was built in like 1886.
That's pretty cool, though.
And it reminded me, like here in Dayton, when you get down into the historical areas, when I was a kid, all those old buildings, they always end up being turned into bars.
Yeah.
And so
that's the good dive bars.
Yeah. You're right, you know. And usually if they cook food in there, bro, that's where you want to go. So when we pulled up onto it, I was like, I didn't know where it was at first. And I was like, I bet that's it right there. That looks like an old bar. And that was the distillery. That's where it ended up being.
Makes sense.
So what's your favorite thing to make?
Oh, all grain bourbon. That's definitely.
It's like all grain.
Yeah, I do a lot of. I put a little sugar in every once in a while, but I'm definitely an all grain kind of guy. Now I've recently got into the liquid enzymes just to make sure I'm getting full conversion. So I do use that.
Now, did you jump into liquid enzymes when you started getting more into the heirloom corns? Just to make sure.
I mean, I think it came hand in hand, but I don't know if I can really like blame it on that.
Yeah.
I think it was more meeting you guys and like looking more into the community and watching videos of guys who actually know what they're making.
Now, are you just adding that in to make sure you get full conversion?
Yeah, I still got the 6-row malt in there, so it would probably convert. But yeah, just
make sure
it's that
you get
safety net.
Yeah, make sure you get it.
Why not? I mean, for a couple bucks, I can not lose, a couple $100 worth of corn.
Yeah, like I get a lot of people that message or they ask about powdered amylase, and I'm always like, bro, if you can, here's how it goes for me. It goes liquid, barley, powder. Like liquid is your best conversions. It's simple, it's easy, it does it all the way.
Yep.
I do like barley and the flavor that it gives it during the conversions.
But you still get that. So I mean, you can use both.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. You could still. I think that the barley gives it a little bit more flavor when it's just the barley, as opposed to, because then that barley is converting so much for you. Like I feel like it works harder, you know, and it puts more of itself into that corn mash as opposed to being like, I'm good, you know. And,
well, so I got a run going into the barrel after that Jimmy Red comes out. So we'll maybe I'll test that a little bit. It's a different mash, different bourbon, but might get an idea of it.
You know,
because this one has liquid enzymes.
It's all about testing, man. It's all about, you know.
Man, I very rarely run the same thing. I'm almost always trying something different. I might sour mash something a few times, but I don't do these 5, 6, 7 generations because I need that fermenter for something new.
You know, that's the best way to do things too. Just get stuff, do it, learn it as you go.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty well. And I do some off the wall. I just did popcorn, like popped popcorn.
So you took kernel and popcorn.
Actually popped it.
Yeah, I did 15. Yeah, don't do it. I did 15. I popped 15 pounds of popcorn. It took me 2 days.
2 days.
My poor microwave, man.
You used your microwave to pop on?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Shit. I figured you had like an air popper that you held over it and you just kept dumping it in. And letting it
No, that's what I was thinking the whole time. But as I'm popping it in my microwave.
Like, look, I got a microwave.
Shit.
Yeah.
I got a microwave.
No, I did. So with that run, it was the popcorn and what do they call it? Crystal. I can't remember if it was crystal malt or caramel malt, which is a beer brewing thing, and
probably caramel
malt.
I was looking for caramel corn. That's what I called it, and it did have a little bit of like a toasted flavor to it, but it ain't worth popping all that popcorn. It wasn't bad. It was hot too. I don't know if it was that caramel malt or what, but it came out hot.
Now, when you popped that popcorn, when you popped it, did you still cook it and convert it like a regular corn?
No,
because it popped that it converted to sugar.
I did convert it, but I didn't cook it. I boiled some water and dumped it in the barrel because from what I'd read, and you can see it as soon as you put popcorn kernel in hot water, it turns into nothing gel.
Yeah.
So it gelled up pretty good just by doing that. So and then I use liquid enzymes again on that.
And you dump boiling hot water on it. Like that's how I do my corn conversion anyways. I dump boiling water on it, let it sit. That way I ain't got to run the boats. I ain't got to worry about scorching. I ain't got to do none of that shit.
I built for bourbons. I don't know. I feel like I got to cook them pretty good just to make sure, because I don't have anything to lean on. It's all from the grain. So I built a contraption that actually it's pretty badass.
Mixer.
Yeah, I bought a mixing drill from Harbor Freight and built a stand that goes over my pot. That thing's badass.
Hell yeah, you ain't got to sit there and row that boat, man. That's the worst part, is rowing that damn boat.
Holding them apples.
You know, it's the whole reason. Oh, dude. Fucking apples, man. Dude, I ran 300 pounds through that Weber slicer, dude. 300 pounds through that Weber slicer.
But that was a damn good idea.
And then I beat him with a 2x4 after that, because I gotta beat him with a 2x4, man. I don't care if I ran him through a crusher, either through a wood chipper. I'm still gonna beat that fruit with a 2x4. It's a must. And it's gonna be a 2x4. That's right, man. We like what we like, brother.
Everybody gotta have a hobby.
I'm not shaming you. I'm just saying, man. You know.
It's got to be a 2x4 from a skid, you know, and it's got to be pressure treated. And you don't know how many people gave me shit when I was beating them apples for using a pressure treated 2x4. I'm like, bro, I ain't soaking this in here. Like, it ain't gonna sit in here. I'm just beating the hell out of these apples for about 20 minutes. It'll be all right.
I built my stand or whatever you call it, for putting my mixer over top. I got an email from somebody that said, "Is that treated lumber?" Yeah. He's like, "Well, you can't use treated lumber around making liquor," and I'm like, "It's not even in it, dude. Like, I'm not dipping this whole drill down in the fucking pot."
Yeah, you can't use brass fittings. You can't use trash cans to ferment.
I'm looking at one,
There's
two.
a lot of
I see at
cans
least
out there.
I see 3 brass fittings from here on my still, and nobody's ever said, "Hey, dude, has that got brass in it? Because it tastes weird."
Hey, every time you see a shutoff valve on a still, it's made out of brass.
Yeah, I ain't never seen a copper one.
I haven't seen them made out of stainless unless they're really expensive. And usually when they're
I was
made out
gonna
of
say
stainless,
they're out there.
they're usually not sweatable. You know, they don't make them where you can just
Mm-mm.
solder them in there.
Oh, you got
Even
to thread
though,
those on.
yeah,
Yeah, you'd
you
have to
always
put an
thread it.
adapter. Fuck
And
that.
like, there's too much can'ts, man. I'm always like, hey, you'll be all right, man. You'll be all right. Like
Can't
that's my
ferment in
motto.
a trash can.
It-
What
As
else
long
you
as
gonna
it ain't
ferment
hitting
in?
that vapor.
I'll ferment anything. You know? Anything.
Yeah,
It'll
give a shit.
ferment. You can't store liquor in 5-gallon buckets, or it'll taste the taste. No, it won't,
Yeah,
man. It's fine.
yeah, never do
Huh.
that.
Yeah,
I'm also looking at 2 of those from here. Like I'm breaking all the rules, boys.
Hey, do your thing, man. Do your thing. It's all good. So. Good times.
Mm-mm.
Yep, you do you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matt's head made me forget what I was going to ask.
It's sexy, ain't it?
It threw me off, man. It's like
Hey.
looking into a mirror. If I had glasses on.
Imagine if he'd had that glare off that light a little bit ago.
I know. When Wes hopped on, I was like, "Hey, bro, you got a pretty bad glare from that light." He starts fucking with it. Whole thing falls out of ceiling and shit.
Oh shit!
Broke that it was sparking and shit.
Would you? Is that straight from AliExpress?
He moved.
Something like that. Team I think.
It's like man. You know.
Hey, that some bitch worked great until fucking Easy told me there was a glare and I had to get it down.
He touched it. It worked great until he touched it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Story of my
There's
life.
another one. I'm looking at another one. It's doing a good job.
Just don't touch it.
I don't plan on it.
Well, we got to do the traditional. Got any stories about
Oh yeah, you ever implode a pot, about burn yourself to death, about burn your house down, or have you been pretty lucky so far?
I'd say lucky. I mean, I burnt myself. I used to change out my thumper jars. I just wore a glove, and
yeah, we all do that stupid shit. You know, that's
probably the worst. That's probably well. I did fall asleep. Luckily, I was in Tails, and it didn't have much alcohol. But when I woke up, it was pretty steamy in here.
You fell asleep and started blowing. But no, when you say fell asleep,
that's too much sampling right
do
there.
We mean too much sampling and passed out, and you're trying to sweeten it up a little bit? That's respectable.
Go ahead and admit it. We've all done it.
That's respectable. So
that's 100% what happened.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, ain't that like having a nice hobby, man? You know, it's just a hobby for most of us. It's something we enjoy. We love to do. We ain't doing it to make no money. Because let's be for real, man. There ain't no money in running 15-gallon still. Like
no.
There's absolutely zero money to be made. It might save you a couple dollars, you know, from having to go buy swell down at the liquor store.
A couple dollars. There's way more in it than money. That ain't, you know.
Yes, yeah, you know, like it's more about it's just a hobby, man. It's no different than a woodworker or a guy that a chainsaw carver that makes art out of chainsaws. It's just for the love of it, man. The enjoyment. It gives you something to do, and you know, when you get older, you know, you become a family man. You have kids. You settle down. It's hard to make friends. It's hard to find people who are into what you're doing, and it's hard to find good people. Like you can always go find a new friend, but they don't. Usually, he's a piece of shit, and you learn that.
Usually, I meet him. Usually, I meet him at some fucking bullshit bar, and
you know, and it seems like this way, like you know, like all these people are in it for the same reasons, just something we love to do.
Yeah,
and you know, and it seems like we all hold our names to a higher value. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody talks about you, want to be like, man, that's a good dude. Like that's a good dude. Like that dude always helped me, this or that, because you know it seems like this tradition, you know. And even though like we're not all in the woods, we all didn't learn from that guy, in the holler. You know, it wasn't passed down to a lot of us through fathers and grandfathers and great grandparents, and we don't have a lot to fall back on. So, you know, we're trying to make our name in it now, and we want to be seen as not only a good moonshine. Like, you want people to like your liquor, but more importantly, you want to be seen as a great man. You want to be talked about as a great man to the next person. Like somebody's like, man, like, hey man, do you know Big Easy? And they're like, oh dude, I love that dude, man. He's a good man. That dude helps me out, this or that. Or, you know, somebody's like, hey man, you ever met Wes? And I'm like, dude, Wes is a good ass dude, man. He's a cool dude. You know, and if somebody asks you about Matt, you know, I'm like, yeah, he's all right. And
he ain't worth a shit.
He ain't worth shit. Now, when somebody asks you about Sean, you just say, oh, he's a piece of shit. And you move on. You know, everybody respects that. But you know,
he's a good guy. He's just late.
Yeah, Sean's a great dude, man. You know, and it seems like you come across these people and it's just like, man, that's a great dude. That's a great dude. You meet him and you bond quick, you become friends, and then you're shooting shit, busting each other's balls. And that's how it should be. You know, I wish there was more communities like this.
I've
when I say communities, I don't mean Facebook. I don't lump Facebook into this community at all. I just think, you know, this community, you know, it's
now, wait a minute. The Facebook thing, you got to have entertainment.
Yeah, it can be entertaining.
You got to scroll comments. You got to laugh.
There are. Let's be for real. Sometimes you see shit and you can't screenshot it and send it to your boys fast enough. Like, oh boy, check this shit out. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god.
I've never done that.
Kill himself.
Never done that.
He's gonna kill himself. He's gonna kill himself. I know he is. Like, oh, I hope he's alive when he runs that.
That's what everybody thinks about that thing Philbilly built, that infuser.
You know,
he caught a bunch of hell for that, but it works. I was there.
Hey, there are certain things that you personally can build and run 100% effective 100% of the time.
You got to be smart.
But how many people are on your level? You know, like, how many people are on your level? You know what I'm saying?
That's changing those jars out. I mean, that's one thing right there that you got to watch what you're doing. I mean, you shouldn't.
You should never take that jar off. I mean, I'm going to.
Every time.
You should never do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I think that's part of it. You know, like,
never, ever, ever do that. Never, ever, ever watch us.
You know, as it's no different when you're a kid. You know, like, you make a ramp. The next one you make bigger. The next one you make bigger and farther. You're always testing your limits, and then, you know, you want to know, like, well, can I make this work? Can I make this work? It doesn't matter if they can make this work, because I don't expect 99% of the people out there to be able to do this, but I want to see if I can do it.
You know, right? You're exactly right, and we don't know our limits till we're at the ER.
Or we're telling the story about it, like, bro, fucking Sean burned himself. Oh my god, check this shit out.
All you can hope for is that somebody's on live when they do it.
Yeah, like, I want to see, you know, like,
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it, I want to see it.
That's right. I just want to see. So, well, and before we get out of here, Wes, because we're coming up on an hour, do you have any advice that you would give to a beginner that's just starting out, as far as what type of still to use, where to garner information, or anything like that?
I mean, jump in the community. Don't be scared to get in there and check it out. Because, I mean, there's some sites that they'll give you shit, but there's also a lot of groups out there that are there to help you. And that's kind of, you know, I jumped in with both feet and did what I did, but I didn't really start progressing much until I joined a lot of the community.
Yeah. That's very true. There is a lot of good people out there who will help.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are from Ohio.
Well, yeah. If they're from Ohio, you got to listen.
Bro, we got a solid core here, man. Like, all over the state. It is just
I had no idea.
Great folks, man, that are always down. You know, I know they have a lot. There's solid cores everywhere. You know, Tennessee, North Carolina, Alabama, Georgia.
Oh yeah.
But like for us, like in a state that you wouldn't think that it would be that popular in, just to be like, right now I can name 20. I can name 20 people that are good dudes who will talk liquor with you and give you everything, anything that they have. Openly share tips, like, hey man, I got this shit here, you can get it there too. And it's great when you see people treat each other like family, and it's bigger than trying to make $1 off the next person. Things are bigger than money.
That kind of goes back to what we were saying. None of us we're not in it for money, so we're not hiding secrets. We're, hey man, if I can make something good, I'll help you do the same thing.
Yeah, but even when you get people who that's what they do, like, I build steel parts. It's what I do, But Wes comes over like, hey man, I'm having trouble getting this stainless affixed to this copper. I'm like, bring it over, bro. I'll help you out. Ha ha ha. Here you go. And and I'm like, I don't want nothing from you, man. Let's just.
I had one started.
He's like, I think I got it too hot. He brought that shit over, man. It looked like he left a hamburger purple on the grill. I was like, yeah, you might have got it a little hot.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, like, hey,
I can solder copper now. That's that bourbon ball I built. But Easy did the stainless for me.
I was like, hey man, just a little bit, man, a little bit. And I'm like, and I'm over. I'm just slathering that flux on, and I'm like, hey, you can't never use too much flux. Like, I just slather it, man.
I didn't do that either.
And then throughout while I'm soldering, and I'm slathering more on. Like, yeah, you keep it on there. It'll be all right.
The first time I ever tried that, came out beautiful. It's like, hell, this is easy. I want to do another one. Chuck that thing across the yard. Piece of shit.
I tell you what, I've learned a lot on that stainless is they have like a coating on them from being machined. You gotta clean them. It helps a lot.
Yeah, I've learned that too. I should have taken I got a wire wheel on my drill. I could run across it real quick, clean it up. I'll get it. I was eager to get that still up and running. I had everything built. I was just waiting on parts, so it was
So you took a column and you ran pipes through it to get reflux and run water through them, right?
Yeah, that one's up here too.
Nice.
This one's pretty slick. This was a lot of work. This one here it tested me.
Remember when you was doing it? What I tell you, I was like, you're gonna do a lot of work, man.
Oh wow.
Oh, I mean, I knew
that's
what it was going to be. So yeah, this one was same thing though. They soldered this one on for me, but I did all. Like I said, I can solder copper. I just can't. The stainless is a mystery. So yeah, that one.
Practice.
That's a work of art right there.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
I'm proud of this one. And it ran a solid 190. My God, it put out a pile. Now it was all tails, but I think I pulled almost like 3.5 gallons of 190 off of this.
Can't beat that, man.
No.
It's good apple pie.
Yeah, that one's honestly, that still right there was based on that glass still that Phil has. It's almost the exact same design. It's just 100% copper, and I run those beads in the bottom of it with a screen.
Nice.
Dang.
Slow down the vapor. So yeah, it's
the only difference is you can't see it,
Yeah, which that's pretty cool. And I've thought about throwing
I'll break that.
This would be hard to break.
I'm talking about glass ones. I'll break the glass ones.
No way. No.
I'll break that too. Give me 5 minutes, man. I broke a whole ass stainless steel thumper, man. 35 gallon. I break shit. Don't challenge me, Wes. I will fuck it up, bro.
He will. He will.
All right, man. We'll let y'all get off here. I know y'all got to get up and go to work early in the morning.
Shut up.
I got playoff basketball to watch. So y'all have a great night. And I'm a sports junkie. And that's the way it is. That's it, Wes. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you hanging out with us, having a good time, talking a little bit of liquor.
Yeah,
man.
Thanks for having me on.
Anybody got any questions for Wes? You'll find him Friday nights. Check him out. He's always on Phil Billy's podcast. Phil Billy Friday night.
I'm around.
The Phil Billy Friday night Moonshine Militia Shit Show. So
I'm like one of the top leaders on the shit show portion of it.
it's a good time. It's a good time. So.
Easy. When are we going to jump on that?
I've
We're gonna
been
do
on
that
there.
one of these.
Yeah, I've been on there.
We're
man.
gonna jump on there one of these nights.
Thanks,
Just
Joseph. Have
just
a
to
great night,
beat
brother.
Phil up.
Yeah, it's a good time. He had somebody messing with him Friday night. I guess.
He did. He was pissed.
He messaged me like, "Hey man, why you in here talking shit?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And he's like, "No, man." He's like, "No, they're saying shit." I'm like, "Bro, I just got done at Walmart. I got to my mom's. I'm about to go pick your and my son up at Skate World because every Friday I pick his boy up. I take his boy and my boy to Skate World and they skate." And I was like, "Dude, I have no idea what you're even talking about." And then I hopped in there and that dude is just giving him the business. And I'm like, I don't know who he is, but I fucking love that dude.
What was it? Phil Billy something. It was funny.
Oh, Phil Billy's pickles bad or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blackmail stuff. Like it was wild. And he called. He was like, "Dude, it was you." I know. I was like, "Dude, I promise you, it ain't me." I just got back from Walmart. Like I wish it was me now. And I was like, I'm in the car driving to pick up the kids, man. Like it couldn't be me if I wanted to because I can't have my phone out and drive at the same time, or I'll kill everybody in the car. And I know my limits. Like I can't multitask. And Matt will be like, "What took you so long to respond?" I'm like, "I'm driving, bro. I don't get my phone out when I drive because I will die, and I like my vehicle too much to text." So, but all right, man. All right, we'll let y'all get off here. We'll be talking shit all night. So y'all have a great night. I'll
see y'all. Appreciate you having me on.
See y'all. Shine on.
Shine
Later.
on, ladies.
Shine on.